Hey everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to Yarn Purpose. Today I have another coffee catch-up. Hey everyone, welcome back. I have another coffee catch-up for you today. I feel like a lot has been going on in May. So many different crafts. I've been so busy. I'm very excited to update you. I did get Starbucks today. The groceries have been a little limited here. We went camping last weekend, and so there was no coffee in the house. So it was a Starbucks kind of morning for me today. But yeah, so as far as things that have been going on over the last month, let's see, I guess I'll start at the beginning of the month. So my husband Alex and I went to the Hamilton exhibition, which is in Chicago. So if you don't know, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote the musical Hamilton, him and his team made this Hamilton exhibition, and so it's kind of like an interactive museum, but it was built to be portable. So it's like this giant building right on the lake in Chicago, and you had to get tickets to go to it. I think they were like $40 or something a piece, and you go through. So it follows the musical, but it also like tells you a lot of the actual history of the United States around that time. So I love the musical Hamilton, so I of course had to go. So that was really cool. I think it's going to be in Chicago until January. So if you live in the area and you're interested in that kind of thing, you should check it out. We had a really good time doing that. I also went to this place called Renwick Inn. I'll leave a link to that down below for sure. It is a bed and breakfast for crafters that is located in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. It's in Plainfield. And I've been there a couple times with my friends, and every time it is so much fun. So you can choose to go either like Thursday or Friday. Usually we go on Thursday to maximize our crafting time. And then starting on Friday lunch all the way through Sunday breakfast, Tammy, who's the owner of the Renwick Inn, she cooks the most amazing meals, and it's like always just a very nice time. So this particular time, I think there were 5 of us in my group that went, and then there were 3 other women there that were scrapbookers. So they were in one area doing scrapbooking, and then we were in another area knitting, crocheting, cross-stitching, English paper piecing. I don't know what, I think those were the main crafts we were doing. Normally it's just like a knit and crochet weekend, but we're starting to dabble, some of us, into other crafts, which you're going to see more of later. So it was just like a really fun crafting time. It's just like nice, it's not like, maybe a convention setting, like if you go to like a Stitches or something like that and you're like taking classes and shopping. This is like none of that. It's literally sitting around in your sweatpants, eating delicious food and crafting all weekend. It's so much fun. So I'm going to leave a link to that down below, because if you're in the area, she gets people coming from all over. This time the people were pretty local, like lived more like kind of up by me. Last time we were there were some quilters from Iowa. So it's really worth it to check it out, especially if you have like a small group of friends that want to go. I think that the place can hold 12 total. So I did that. It was my birthday, so I ended up having sort of a birthday week of fun. So that's always nice. I went out to dinner with a few friends. My husband and I went out. So that was really great. And then, like I said at the beginning, I don't have any groceries because we went camping over Memorial Day weekend. So we just went up to Wisconsin Dells, which if you like live in Illinois, like you at least, or Wisconsin obviously, like you definitely know Wisconsin Dells and probably have been there at some point. So we just went camping up there with my sister and her family, and one of my brothers, the one that lives up in North Dakota, he actually came down with his kids too, so, and his wife. And so we had so much fun camping, and so now it's just sort of back home, back to the grind. So I have so many crafts to show you. I have finished objects, a couple whips, I have cross stitch and English paper piecing to show you. I'll talk about what I've been reading, although it's going to be pretty short because I've been crafting so much. I haven't really been reading. let's see what else. I have a few things that I've purchased over the last month that actually aren't knitting, it's cross stitch. And I think I did bring the English paper piecing stuff over. And then at the end, I will talk a little bit more about work stuff. So let's dive right in. Okay, finished objects. I have finished some socks. I got on a huge sock kick. So first of all, I have the April socks finished. You know, I'm picking my random yarn out of the bag every month. I have it down here to pick for June. But I finished the April socks. So just to remind you, this is Nomadic yarns. It's her Twisty sport base. So it's a sport weight yarn. And the colorway is Chill is in the Air. And so I finished those up. So that was really great to get those done. These ones I ended up doing a little bit shorter because they are sport weight. I think, I don't have the tag with me, but I think they're like 328 yards per skein, and I still knit them on a size 1. So I tend to just go a little shorter on my cuffs just to be sure that I'll have enough. I've never run out, but I usually on the sport weight just do a little bit of a shorter cuff just to ensure that I have enough yarn. So I love these. They're very fallish. I'm going to be ready for the fall. As you can see here, my pile of socks is growing. I need to really go through my sock drawer and like assess the socks that are in there. Put some of those are sock samples, like sock patterns, so I don't necessarily want to put them in my sock drawer. But I think I'm getting to the point where now I need to start considering maybe knitting socks for other people, because I do wear the hand knit socks a lot, but I don't wear them every day, even in the winter. So I think I'm getting to the point where I have enough hand knit socks for now, and so I probably will start knitting some of these like monthly ones I'm working on in other sizes. And then I actually also finished the May socks too. If you've been watching my other coffee catch-up videos, typically when I'm recording these videos at the end of the month, I haven't quite finished the socks for that month. But in this case, I did. So I cranked these out really fast, which, I mean, they're like fingering weight yarn. I still have like the ends on this sock to weave in, of course. But I'm really excited to have these done. So this yarn is What's Up Yarn Company. I don't remember the yarn base. I'll leave a link to it down below. But the main color is Santa's Workshop, and then the mini skein is Pointsettia. So definitely Christmas socks, definitely for me. I don't really have a lot of Christmas socks in my life, so that I've knit. So I'm very excited about these. So for these ones, I did knit them. I believe I knit them cuff down. Yes, I did, because I kitchen nerd this toe. So I knit them cuff down, and then when I got to the heel, I did my German short row heel. But normally when I do the German short row, when I get halfway through the German short row heel, I like do a couple rounds and then work the second half of the heel. But I couldn't really do that this time because I was using a contrasting color. So I just like used the German short rows, but pretty much just like did a normal short row heel. I didn't do any extra rounds in the middle there. So yeah, I love the way those turned out. So those are my April and May socks. So I'm very excited to have those off the needles. And then I guess I'm just going to get right into, am I going to get into works in progress, or am I going to pick the other yarn? I'm going to pick the yarn for June first, because I feel like otherwise I'm going to start getting into some of these other things and forget. So once again, to remind you, I have this bag, which now is almost going to be half empty after this, that I put 12 skeins and balls of yarn in at the beginning of the year. And every month I am picking a new one, and then those are the socks I'm trying to do for the month. So you can see there's still lots of pretties in there. The first few months, you'll recall, was a lot of Nomadic yarns, but I'm pretty sure there's still one more Nomadic yarns in here. Why am I looking? I should just be picking. I don't know. Yeah, I just see one more, but we'll see what we get. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of a toss. Okay, all right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, rainbows. You know I love my rainbows. So this is, let me just fix this really quick here. Twist it back up. My skeins are getting a little out of sorts in there, probably from all the mixing that I'm doing every month, right? Okay, here we go. So this one is Mustache Yarns, and the colorway is Rainbow Yo-Yo, and these are perfect self-striping socks. So this is a mouthful, must match skeins. So it's 2 skeins actually. So they're 2 separate skeins so that your socks will match. The yarn base is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's fingering weight 460 yards for 100 grams. So that'll be a nice summery sock to be working on. Question is, am I going to make them for me or someone else? I love my rainbow socks. Am I going to be greedy? Or am I going to make these for somebody else? I'll have to think on it. Okay, well anyway, those are my June. The June yarn. So then getting into works in progress, I actually finished the April socks, finished the May socks, and have finished almost another pair of socks. Not quite. Thought maybe I was going to get them done last night, but didn't quite get there. So I'm knitting some Halloween socks. The theme of this really is Christmas and Halloween, as you will see when I get into the other crafts. I'm just all about the holidays right now. I don't know why. But anyway, so this yarn is the Knit Picks Felici, which as far as commercial yarns go, commercial sock yarns go, is probably my favorite. And it is a 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. You need 2 balls. It's 218 yards for 50 grams, fingering weight. The colorway on this is Spooky. I bought this one pretty recently, but the colors, the Felici in general kind of comes and goes on the Knit Picks website. I try not to order too much of it, but it's very inexpensive, and these socks hold up so great. So anyway, these are the socks. The only thing I will say is that I started both of these socks from the center of the ball, but they were coming out in the opposite order. Like here you can see like purple, black, white, and then you can see it's like white, black, purple. I mean, I did notice this as I started knitting, so I guess I could have like fixed this problem, but I just decided I didn't care. But that's just something, this is not the first time this has happened to me on the Felici. So just a word of warning that if you do want your socks to match, like if you're starting from the inside of the ball, when you go to start the second one, just double check that it's coming out in the same color order. Like a lot of the times it's like, it's almost like it's wound the opposite way, you know? But these are just top down, German short row heel, the usual. So I have, I think 3 more stripes to do. Maybe this, I just started this one, and then maybe 2 more stripes, and then the toe. So yeah, I just been getting so much crafting time in that I was able to complete almost another pair of socks on top of the May socks. So that's cool. Partially because I spent that weekend at Renwick and crafting. That really gave me a lot of time. And so once again, speaking of Renwick, so while I was there, we all were sort of sharing our crafts in that, like, my cross stitch I'm going to show you in a minute, I had kind of messed it up, and then my friend Laura, who's been cross stitching forever, and she like makes the most beautiful things, like she was tired of crocheting, so then she took a look at my cross stitch and kind of like fixed what I had messed up. And then my friend Jenny had brought some extra stuff to crochet, and then like I kind of got tired of what I was working on. She's like, here, start a blanket for me. And I was like, great. So anyway, I had started for her the Granny Stripes blanket. It's a free pattern on the Attic 24 blog. I'll leave a link to it below, of course. And so I started making hers, and she was using Lion Brand Cupcake. And I had 2 skeins of it. I think I showed it to you before. I was planning on using it to do a design with, and I still may do that, and I might go just get more to do a shawl design. But when I got home from Renwick Inn, I was like, I need my own granny stripe blanket. Like I have no business starting this, but like I needed to start it. It just was like so enjoyable when I was working on hers. So anyway, here's the start of mine. so you'll see I have a couple strings, strands of yarn hanging off here. So it's really easy. It's like literally a 2-row repeat. A lot of people make these as stripy, like using your leftovers and stuff. There's some beautiful ones on Ravelry. And so what I'm doing is I have right now, I only have 2 balls of this. I'm gonna have to go get more. I have 2 balls of the cupcake. And so one I'm crocheting from the inside out and the other one I'm doing from the outside in. And so that way it is creating sort of this interesting stripe pattern. This color combo to me is, it's a little wild. Like these are definitely, I don't know if this is coming out like just a little different than I thought it was, not in a bad way, but I feel like my mom will love this. Like orange and yellow are her 2 favorite colors, and so I just feel like I might need to give this to her. So anyway, I've been working on this. The colorway, let me tell you about this yarn. The colorway on this one is Blue Citrus. Again, it's the Lion brand cupcake, so you just get this at any big box craft store that carries Lion brand. And each ball is 590 yards for 150 grams, and I feel like I did not pay that much for these, maybe $6. And it's very nice. It's very soft. I've very much been enjoying crocheting with it. So I'm gonna have to go get some more at some point so that I can keep working on this blanket. But again, that's a Granny Stripes blanket by Attic 24. It's a very popular crocheted blanket pattern. So I guess thanks to Jenny for letting me start her blanket while we were having our little crafting weekend. So yeah, this is just sort of sitting near the couch while I'm watching TV at night when I just need something mindless to work on. I've been kind of putting a row or 2 on that. So I think that's really it for the knitting and crochet works in progress. So now I guess I will get into some of the other crafts. Other crafts. There's been a lot of crafting. I talked about it a couple different times, but I sort of had given myself a little work sabbatical in May, and so I was not doing very much work. I did do some work, definitely, but didn't have any deadlines or anything, and so I just needed some time just to like think about my business, but also just like craft whatever the heck I wanted, and craft I did. So anyway, I'm going to show you a couple of the things I've been working on, and maybe I'll just roll sort of these stash enhancements into this since they are sort of related. So the first thing that I've made quite a bit of progress on is this Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery cross stitch project. It's called Jack's Halloween Dream. Here's the cover page here. So it's like this little, it's like a banner that you make. And so I purchased the kit from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery website. Their kits sometimes, like, you kind of got to watch, they kind of come and go. But I picked this one up. It actually came with the yarn from the Knitted Wit to do the tassels, which I thought was cool. And it came with this, this like hanger thing for your banner. And so I thought this was so cute. And so, I have started one. So this is the one my friend Laura was fixing for me. I had like the word happy was like all messed. It was all messed up. And so I'm very new to the counted cross stitch. I don't do it a lot, but I love it. I just like love how it looks. And the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery ones are always so cute. So you can see I'm sort of making my way through. I got a lot of this bottom part done now. For me, the letters are always the hardest. That's always what I'm screwing up. But anyway, so that's so cute. So I've been working on this here and there. Hopefully I'll have it done to hang for Halloween. But yeah, I've been very much enjoying the cross stitch. So much so that I took myself finally to the cross stitch store. I don't know enough about cross stitch and like embroidery and needlework to know what the proper term for the store is. I went to Welcome Stitchery in Crystal Lake. So they've got all of sort of that needlework stuff, like cross stitch, embroidery. They have all kinds of stuff there. I've lived out this way. Well, I've lived in this area my whole life, but out in the far northwest suburbs. I've lived out here for 10 years. And I can't believe I had just never been there before. That store is incredible. I feel like it was overwhelming the amount of stuff they had. And so I just picked up a couple things because, you know, I'm still new to this. I don't want to go too crazy. We'll see. Oh, it's going to end up being like the yarn, I'm sure. So I picked up this pattern from, let's see, who is this by? Sue Hillis Designs. I think she's very popular. But it's another Halloween cross stitch. Honestly, I just feel like with the cross stitch, I just want to do all the Halloween and Christmas things, I feel like. So anyway, it says it's the most wonderful fright of the year. So it's so cute. So I bought the embroidery floss to go with it, which actually after I got home I realized it's a lot of the same colors I'm using on the other one, but that's okay. I don't really have like a stash of floss. Like it's actually, I keep everything in like individual bags, like the kits in individual bags. So hopefully if I continue to do this, I'll get to a point where I'll like have a stash of it that I can like check. And then I got some fabric. I got, is it Ada? Is that how you say it? I am not at the point where I can successfully crochet, where I can successfully cross stitch on linen. So I bought this fabric here to do it. And then, like I said, all the like embroidery floss and stuff. So I think that's really cute. I'll leave a link to her website's on the back of this. So I'll leave a link to this down below. And if you live again in the far northwest suburbs, check out Welcome Stitchery. Some days they're only open till 4 p.m. So you gotta check the website, but yeah, it was super cool. Definitely I will be going back there. And then the other thing I picked up, and I have no idea how to do this because I've never done it before, but it's just too cute, is I got these Mill Hill little kits, Mill Hill bead kits. And this one's, you know what, let me at least take this part out of the bag so you can see it better. It's like a little Santa face Christmas ornament, and then there's like beads. So it's like it comes with like the beads, the floss. I think there might be a needle in there. There is, and then this which you like do your little pattern on, and then the pattern is in here as well. My mother-in-law has like, she decorates her house so beautiful for Christmas, and like she has a lot of fancy Santas. Sounds weird to say, but she has a lot of fancy Santas. So I thought, well, I'm just going to see, there's like different ones of these. There's like, it's like a series or something. Again, I know nothing about this. So I got one to try, but if this is successful, I might go pick up some more. And then I picked up this other one, which is like a Halloween looking one. I literally bought it at the, like it was at the checkout, and I was like, I'll take this too. And so this, it's like a lantern that has like a little haunted house in it, and it even comes with, oh, it's kind of hard to see here because it's backwards, but it even comes with a little pumpkin bead. It comes with everything you need in here. This one you're supposed to make into a magnet, but I guess you don't have to make it into a magnet, but it's the same sort of kit. So I'm going to just try those. I've kind of told myself I couldn't open the new cross stitch until I finish the other cross stitch, but I think, I mean, my guess is that the cross stitch is like the knitting projects, like you end up getting more than one at the same time, right? Okay, so that wraps up the cross stitch section of this knitting podcast. And then now I'm going to talk about English paper piecing. So English paper piecing is something that I had seen a lot on Instagram, and I always think it looks so pretty, but I do not sew at all. And so I just really wasn't sure. It's basically like a way to like hand quilt. I'm learning a lot about it again. Like these are like, this is me diving into these new crafts, and I have to keep reminding myself that like when I'm getting frustrated, I have to remind myself that even though I learned to knit out of a book that was called Learn to Knit in Just One Day, it took me longer than one day. And so, you know, with my knitting and crochet, I feel like I can just zoom along. It's very natural to me, but some of these other things they just don't come naturally to me yet. And so I just am trying to remind myself that when I'm getting frustrated, that like I was bad at knitting at first too, you know? So anyway, so I've started some English paper piecing. My friends actually, some of them bought me some English paper piecing goodies for my birthday. So that was really cool. So this first thing I'm working on was, again, I started it at the Renwick Inn. And so this was a little bit unplanned. I showed you in a previous episode some larger hexagons that I was making. And those I didn't have a project in mind. I was just trying to like figure out how the heck to do English paper piecing. But now, you know, I'm working on it a little bit more. I think, you know, I'm starting to have a little bit of success and understand what I'm doing. I still haven't finished anything. But so I did sort of start this over the weekend, and I don't really know exactly what it's going to become. I made enough hexies like to make it could be like a placemat, and I have enough fabric to make 2. But it's just me and my husband at my house. So these could be nice springtime placemats, I guess. So anyway, I have a few strips sewn together. Oh God, please don't judge my bad sewing skills. I'm going to hold it back here so you can't see. Anyway, so I've made some strips here. Okay, I will show you. Like you can see like right there, it's like a little loosey-goosey, but you know, again, I was bad at knitting at first too, right? So I'm making a bunch of these strips, and these are 1-inch hexagons. So I still have the papers on the back, and then I'll sew them all together. So I think I was going to do it like that. Wait, I don't know. No, like that. So I have 3 so far. Wait, nope, that's a lie. I have another one. At least one more. Oh. And let's see. Oh, they have another one. Well, I have half of one. So this I just kind of put together based off of just what I had available to me. My friend Jenny had the 1-inch hexagons, and then I had gotten the little mini charm pack for my birthday, and they had brought it to the Renwick Inn. So this is Moda Confetti by Me and My Sister Designs. And so the mini charm packs, see, I don't know anything about this. Maybe some of you probably know a lot about this. But so these are 2.5-inch squares, and so there's all different fabrics in there. And so for the 1-inch hexies, this is like the perfect size to like make your hexies out of. And then I also had some white fabric that I had bought in a charm pack, which the charm packs are 5-inch squares, from Joann's when I was like first trying to like just get the supplies I needed to like try this out. So the white fabric here, I don't even know like what the brand, it was just at Joann's, so that's just like the white fabric that's there. So again, this was me sort of just playing around at Renwick, but then now I'm trying to do like a for real pattern. I'm slightly scared, but you know, it's good to try new things. My friend Jenny for my birthday actually got me this pattern, and so it is, I'll take it out so you don't have to see it in the bag. Sue Daily Designs. I think she's in Australia. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. There's a link down below. I'll leave a link. But Sue Daily Designs, and the pattern's in the window, and it's a wall hanging. And so this came as a kit. So it had the paper pieces with it, and then the pattern. So you know, I had never really followed a pattern like this before. I've only ever followed like a knitting and crochet pattern or a simple cross stitch pattern. You know, so it's going okay so far. I've made the squares I've needed to make, and I've started cutting out the elongated hexies. But I decided, because I told you everything around here is Christmas and Halloween, so I am making this Christmassy. Let's see. Get some of these out here. I really just have everything thrown in bags. If you do English paper piecing and you have a good way of storing all your supplies, let me know, because right now I'm just using plastic bags, and then they're all going into one Rubbermaid tote. So, okay. Anyway, I have this. It was a charm pack. It's a Moda Vintage Holiday by Bonnie and Camille. And so here's some of the fabrics here. So it's like I live for the minty green and like that limey green at Christmas time, like that light blue. Like, yeah. So anyway, these are some of the hexagons, or these elongated hexagons that I've cut out so far. And then the squares I have already made. And so with my original English paper piecing, I was like sewing, basting stitch. I was like sewing the fabric down, but now my friends have taught me the way of the glue basting, and yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. So these are the squares that I've made so far. So there's more, but I've made all the squares. And so basically the white here, I've used like the white fabrics here. And then the like black or charcoal, I'm doing the green fabrics. And then I bought fabric to like go around all this outside. I guess I don't, that's when this is going to get tricky for me, is because I feel like I can make the hexagons fine. That's not the problem. But I did buy a sewing machine last year that's still in the box, but I don't know. I don't know if I actually need it for this. I have no idea. I don't know what I was thinking, but I am enjoying this, and it's fun to learn new things, even if sometimes it is frustrating and causes me to swear. But, and so I have not really picked up too much other English paper piecing stuff. So my friend bought me the pattern for my birthday, and then my other friend Gail had given me a gift card to fatquartersshop.com for my birthday, and so I actually used that gift card to buy these turn packs to make that project. So that's really great. So I'm very excited about that. And then other than that, I haven't really ordered too much stuff. I ordered myself some of the pre-cut 1-inch hexies because I had borrowed those from my friend Jen. So, well, not borrowed. I probably am not giving her paper hexagons back, but I ordered some of my own, and I'm going to give her a handful out of them back to her. Anyway, so that's it for other crafts and sort of stash enhancements. So I guess now we can get into what I've been reading. Okay, reading. Because I've been crafting so much, I have barely been reading. My goal for May was to finish 5 books, and I don't think I finished any. Did I talk about the kissing quotient last month? I think I did. I don't know if I finished. I think I finished that in April. So I think I finished no books in May. But I'm reading some books, but I thought I was going to be able to finish 5 based on how last month went, but you know, the problem is too, is like I do sometimes listen to books, but lately I've been like really into watching like YouTube videos, or my husband and I are binge watching Scandal. Please no spoilers because we haven't actually seen it before. I know it's like already been over for like a year, but so I haven't been like listening to a lot of books. But anyway, you don't need my sob story about why I haven't been reading, but here's what I have been reading when I am reading. So I checked out from the library Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. It is a young adult book. I read a lot of young adult books. I'm not apologizing for my weird taste in books. So I'm enjoying this one so far. I'm like maybe only like, I don't know, I'm that far. I'm not very far through that one. I am enjoying it a lot so far. It's just I haven't made it a priority, so I haven't finished it. But I just renewed it today, and so I have 2 more weeks to get it done, so hopefully I do. And then the other thing I've been actually listening to is Hamilton by Ron Chernow. Oh, this is coming full circle because I was talking about Hamilton at the beginning. Ron Chernow, I think is the guy's name. He's the guy who wrote the Hamilton biography that Lin-Manuel Miranda read and then decided to like start writing songs about Hamilton, like raps about Hamilton. So I had actually had the book on my Kindle for a while, and I couldn't do it. I don't want to say it was like boring, but it's like I felt like every time I started reading it, I wanted to fall asleep. So anyway, I got the audiobook, and now it's going much better. Like, I'm actually like, ooh, what's going to happen next? Like, I don't know, somebody's reading it to me, and it suddenly becomes more exciting. That book is long. Normally, when I am listening to an audiobook, my sweet spots for audiobooks, I think I've said it before, is probably about like 9 to 12 hours. I probably said this, I probably talked about that last month because I listened to Michelle Obama's book and that one was longer. But like, I like shorter audiobooks. This Hamilton biography is like 39 hours long. There's a lot of information that I'm not retaining, but it, you know, that's okay. You know, it's been interesting to me, especially having gone to the Hamilton exhibition and being slightly obsessed with the musical. So I'm working through that one. I listen to it in my car a lot when I'm like sort of going on longer than a 15-minute drive or so. I'll turn it on. So those are the only books that I've been reading. Yeah, I was just doing too much crafting this month, and that's okay. And then let's see. I have my notes down here. What else? Okay, so that's it for reading. So I guess finally I'm just going to talk about a couple of work things really quick because I was on a work sabbatical for the last month. I don't have very many work things to talk about. So really the first, you know what, the first thing I'll talk about is this yarn. I do exclusive patterns for my Patreon page every other month, and so this is the yarn I'm going to use for the July Patreon pattern. This one is from Emma's Yarn. It is the Hella Hank, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and it's 150 grams for 600 yards. Probably why it's called the Hella Hank. And the colorway is Endeavor. I bought this at Vogue Knitting Live, I think, the last time that Vogue was in Chicago. I'm pretty sure that's where I got this one. Maybe I have a video, I think, on my haul. I should check. But anyway, so I'm going to make a shawl my Patreon patrons voted, and it's going to be a bottom-up short row shawl that, like the final short row body is going to be, I think, in garter stitch. I have to check my little poll, but it's a beautiful yarn. I've been kind of dying to use it, so I'm glad that I'm going to get to knit with that one soon. And then I have this shawl back here that I knit. This was not in the plans, but I was just wanting garter stitch, and so yeah, I just started knitting this, and I actually did finish it. And so this is 2 gradient sets of Leading Men Fiber Arts that I sort of worked together in 2 row stripes all the way down. It's a very easy pattern. So I'm going to do a little mini shawl collection that comes out in maybe August, late August, early September, I think. And so this is going to be one of them. I'm going to be starting on the other ones soon now that I'm back to work. So this doesn't have a name. You can't get this one yet, but it's so pretty, and it was already on my dress form, so I just decided to leave it today on there for you to see. So I'll talk more about it when the shawl collection comes out. But if you want to make sure that you are notified when this shawl comes out, if you like it, which I hope you do, I love it, you should sign up for my email. There's a link to it down below, my email newsletter. I send out 2 emails a month, so I will not spam you. But anyway, that's the other thing I really worked on. And then coming up, I'm just going to be traveling to Cleveland, Ohio to go to the National Needle Arts Trade Show, which is the industry trade show. You know, it's sort of my time to meet up with all my fellow designers and different people in the industry and sort of, you know, get some work booked for the next few months. So, but that's pretty much it. So I think that covers everything. That was a lot to talk about, man. A lot of crafts this month, but it was a good month. I think my month off was really good for me. I feel like even just like working on the other crafts beyond the knitting and crochet has been good for me, because now, you know, I've been in my business full time for 5 years, and the last like year and a half, 2 years especially, I have been just like, I feel just probably just working too much. Like, you know, you have your own business, you're like, oh, you have so much free time. It was starting to feel like I never had free time. So it was nice to have this little break. I feel very like refreshed now, and I'm ready to get back to it. So hopefully you enjoyed seeing some of the other crafts and everything. If you're into counted cross stitch or English paper piecing, please let me know down below. If you have like some amazing resources for these things, definitely let me know. I'm like trying to learn everything I can right now about both, you know, but yeah, I think that these are gonna are definitely going to be crafts that I'm going to be doing for years to come. So that's it. So if you liked this coffee ketchup, please give it that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from me, including more coffee ketchup videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you like, you can turn on notifications to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I hope that everybody has a great day and a great week, and happy crafting, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.